Probably the biggest dirt race of the entire year. There's 375 cars. Only 24 cars make the race. It's kind of the center of the motorsports world, I feel like. You have the who's who of literally every discipline. It's just this huge race and kind of the mecca of the motorsports world for 1 week of the year here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Yeah, I think, honestly, the thing that keeps me coming back is just, I guess, the way that I feel like I get fulfilled coming out here every single time. You know, it's just a thing that I've done now for the past 10 years, I want to say, is it's kind of became this routine of me always coming here. It's a way for me to recharge my batteries. I feel like at the end of the off-season, I'm always ready to go back racing, and this is the only race you can come run, and it's just a great way for me to kind of get my mindset back on going racing, because we're only, I think, 2 or 3 weeks away from LA, and I feel like this is one of the hardest cars to race, just in general, and especially this race is one of the hardest ones to make. You have to be on your absolute A game, so it's a great way to kind of knock the rust off for the upcoming season.
Qualifying night, A main event, off of corner number 4.
I went Monday night, had a good night, was able to start 12th and get all the way up to 4th. Was probably going to finish 2nd, and the caution came out, and I messed up on the last restart with 3 laps to go and ended up losing a spot, so ended up 4th. Which puts us starting anywhere from 3rd to 5th in the B main on Saturday. We had another car going on Tuesday night, the 4 Florence Racing School car with Kyle Strickler, who I would say definitely exceeded expectations. He's only drove a midget 1 time, finished 13th, I think it was, on his night, which puts him in the C main. It's a win for him with how little experience he has in these cars. Thursday night, we had Carter Sarf driving the slaughter directional drilling car. Was incredibly quick. He actually raced in the race champions on Monday night, ran 3rd.
Sarf, we're kind of a sleeper, I would say, coming in this race champions, really showing out right now with 6 laps to go.
So he'll be in the B main as well, and then we'll try to race our way into the A main. So for sure, I have a really good shot with 2 of them. And like I said, I feel like if either me or Carter can make the race on Saturday, there's a realistic chance we can get there and be in the mix. For me, it would be nice to make the A main, just with how close I've been, 4 years in a row. I think that the average margin of missing it is like 1.75 for me out of the last 5 years. I came here in 2014 or 15 for the first time. I had posted on Facebook literally like for months talking about how I wanted to ride for Chili Bowl, and I posted on my birthday about how I'd still never drank or smoked or done anything, and I was proud of that. And this team owner, Jeff and Jill Davis, they owned a midget and saw my Facebook post and thought that it was cool that I was openly willing to talk about that, and said, hey, we have a midget that we've been wanting to go to the Chili Bowl. We've seen you've been posting about it. Would you like to come drive our car?
I'm Chase Briscoe. I'm 20 years old and I'm from Mitchell, Indiana.
And that was kind of my foot in the doorway finally to midget racing. I never ran a midget up till that point. Came here. We went through like 5 mains of the alphabet soup on Saturday, which was really cool for me to kind of finally get my name out on a national recognition standpoint. Actually, I drove for Cole Custer the next year. Did not go very well at all. Then the following year, I came here in my own car finally, made the race, flipped over like within the first 10 laps, came back the next year, missed the race by 1 spot, came back the following year, missed the race by 1 spot again. Nobody had ever done that before, back-to-back years. Came back the next year, missed the race by 2 spots. And then last year, I was going to miss the race by 1 spot, and I messed up on the last lap and ended up missing it by 2 spots. So I've been like so close the last 4 or 5 years in a row to making the race, and I've not been near as good as I've been this year. So I definitely feel like this year we can race our way in, and if we get in, I feel like we can go forward. So yeah, I'm just really excited for it, and it's just fun to be competitive in this building. I feel like this is by far my best chance to ever win this race. I still need a little bit more, but this has by far been the best I've ever been in this building, and even as a team, this is the best we've ever been. So I'm excited. The odds are kind of stacked against us for this year, but going forward, I feel like we have a legitimate shot to do it at one point. So it's an exciting time right now for us, and we got a really good package right now, and it's hard to come by. So hopefully we can just continue to build on that. I remember it was yesterday. I was 7, 8 years old, and I was at Bloomington Speedway, my home track, and I remember this Tony Stewart Racing rig pulled in the racetrack. I was obviously a diehard Tony fan, and I knew that he raced sprint cars and things like that, but until the National Series came, I didn't know that he owned his own team and owned his own sprint cars. And I just remember seeing Tony Stewart Racing on the side. He had 2 cars, number 20 and number 21, and I remember they won that night. And I just thought that was the coolest thing, that Tony Stewart Racing was at my home track. Ever since then, I always was like, man, I just want to be a NASCAR driver and own my own sprint car team or midget team, dirt team, or whatever it is. And the car ownership side is definitely in my blood. My grandpa started owning, sprint cars in 1976, so it's in one way being able to carry on this family legacy. And my grandpa was an incredible owner, won over 500 races as an owner. He's still alive, so I just really enjoy that side of it, and it is in my blood to that extent. And, for me, I would have never been doing what I'm doing now if it wasn't for somebody going and giving me an opportunity or giving me a break as a car owner. So that's something that I've always wanted to do and been passionate about, is trying to go find a young driver, somebody that I feel like deserves an opportunity to show what they can do. And I remember when Brad Keselowski signed me in 2017, he said when you get to the top of the elevator, you have to send it back down. And now I've been able to make it to the Cup Series. I don't want to just get there and not try to get back in some way. And dirt racing is a huge passion of mine. It was kind of my first love. So now that I'm blessed enough to be able to have cars and have race cars, I want to be able to go and kind of give back. And this year, especially with one of our drivers, Carter Sarf, I feel like he is fully capable of doing, a national touring series, whether it's USAC or something like that. And even I think he's more than capable to make it to NASCAR. It's just a matter of the right doors opening up for him.
It's pretty amazing, being a kid from a small town, and like I said, growing up the same way that Chase has. It's just cool that he's come up the same way as me, so they understand the aspect of how hard it is to get to this level, and it's cool for them to be helping kids like me, and I hope to someday do the same thing that they've been doing. So I'm excited to see where this leaves, and it's just a huge confidence builder that people like them believe in me, and it's just awesome. I'm speechless.
Been amazed at how well he's done. He's been honestly probably one of the fastest 5 cars in the building all week, and hopefully this can just be a stepping platform for him to go on to bigger and better things. But that's just something I've always been passionate about.
Carter Sarf taking full advantage of this.
I honestly get more excitement and enjoyment out of watching my car run than racing myself. The other night when Carter was battling for the win, I was literally shaking. I was texting my wife Marissa, my thumbs were shaking and everything else. So just that thrill I get from it. But I know watching my own car, just knowing what goes into it, and just the pride that goes along with, for us as a race team to race literally less than 5 races a year and go and compete with those teams that do it for a living. There's just a lot of enjoyment that comes out of that. And it makes me nervous knowing that we're racing with teams like that and are capable of doing it. So I've always enjoyed that side of it. I started getting into it in 2017, I want to say, and trying to put the pieces together and the people together to make the car be successful. It's something that I really just enjoy doing, and trying to go find that next driver, or, next person that kind of needs an opportunity. And it might not even be a young driver. It might be somebody in their late 20s, 30s that is just driving in a car that's probably not the best of the best, but they're getting more out of that car and trying to give them an opportunity in a better car. And I just really enjoy doing that.
Going well?
Yeah, so far. See how this deal goes tonight. We've been good. Yeah, we've been good. All 3 of our cars have been really good.
We were really good. The other day was really good, and just more laps, the better. Like, it just sucks not having hot laps.
For sure. I wish we had hot laps. I just love racing. Dirt racing is obviously a huge love of mine, but just that plus this race, for whatever reason, I think with the amount of race cars there are, for me, the anxiousness level is really, really high. Like, this is the only race all year long I'm ever nervous at rolling out for it. You just have to be at 110% at all times. Yeah, it would mean a ton to win here. You know, if you win this race, you know, it used to be a guaranteed ticket into NASCAR, essentially. That's just how big of a deal this race was. It is a top of the resume. If you win this, if you can say you're a Chili Bowl Nationals champion, it's globally recognized. You know, people in motorsports at all disciplines know what this race is, even if they don't watch any other dirt racing all year long. So to be able to say that you were the best out of 375 guys is a big deal.